Hey, actually, for people who get their right and left mixed up, is this on? Yes, my blue sock is right. For those who get dyslexic from the angle of the mirror, blue sock is right, brown sock is left, in case you really need to know. Okay, so arms, first position, framing your hips. Framing your hips so the energy really kind of flows from one palm to the other, pretty much anywhere you might find that relationship. And relate it back to this, right? So first position here. Second position, I'm going to step up a little bit, is open. Really feeling a feeling of lofting, because we talked about the diaphragms of the body. This is another set of diaphragms, and this is another one. So feeling like you can almost rest the weight of your shoulders, rest the weight of your hands, and you can also start to tip these a little bit so that you can start to feel a little bit of a lofting even into the elbows, into the inner elbows, right? And so the arms feel nice and light, but they're really resting downward and allowing themselves to be lifted, including this diaphragm, of course, right? The ribs are lifted by an upward flow of energy, right? Which will, if anyone continues hanging out at Laila, we'll talk about the fountain a million different ways, right? So second position is a bit round in the arms. It's not flat against a wall, right? And we can look at the roundness of our ribs as kind of inspiration for that, feeling like the shoulder blades are resting on the ribs are resting and rising on this fountain, and the arms are in relationship to that in a state of ease as much as possible. It is more desirable than getting some kind of external posture right. I really think the inner leads us to find the outer in an organic way. It makes it easier, and then we're all talking about the same thing in terms of a nice position for your arms. But getting at it from this feeling of finding a sensation, for me, is more desirable and yummy as an exploration. So second position. Third position, touching the head in some way. So it could be lifting the hair, could be putting a flower behind your ear, could be, sort of touching your headband, or a little bit of a salam, a little bit of a salute. Could be even your third eye. So these gestures that involve some kind of touching the head, third position. Fourth position, arms go up. I think of it as kind of catching a blessing position. I like being functional, as you know. So catching a blessing here. Fifth position, a little more, wider V. Bigger blessing, I think, or gratitude can also flow upwards from you, right? Upwards and upwards as well as coming in. Sixth position, forward. So this usually is going to alternate with another one, like third, for example, right? Sometimes it alternates with fourth, but third, very common. And this can be sort of like hands on top of a cane kind of quality as well. Can also be, they can be alternating as you travel this way, they can be pushing, they can be pulling, right? Can be accenting. So sixth position. And then one that I call seventh position, which is here, which is, I think of it as almost a classical and paradoxically kind of casual oriental. It's like you're showing off your jewelry. And it almost doesn't matter if you're like a really glammy lady or if you're like a lady in the market. You still have a certain kind of something oriental about you that would allow you to perfectly show off your jewelry. And your hands and your fineness, right? And it's very kind of, it's not as formal as this. It's a little more casual, right? It's not as formal as this, right? But still kind of classical and elegant, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that, 7. And how those are going to interrelate and everything, you'll see in the traveling steps and stuff, variations of that. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And there's lots of other things with arms. These are just a basic structure. Yeah? Lots of things with arms. So arms. And should we make this a separate one? Yes.